We've got this Masport home gardener Rotavator. It's powered by a Briggs Stratton 3 horsepower. I believe this is an IC engine, industrial commercial engine. It's pretty good. It's got a variable throttle, a choke on off down there. It's a 4-stroke engine, got engine oil down there. And in this video we're just gonna, I know it runs essentially, it's not a will it run video at all. It does run, it runs really nicely. We're just gonna check over it. We'll just check the spark plug. We'll check compression. We're on the Rotavator here. It's a PTO shaft, so it's held on with this clamp here. So if you unslacken that, you can slide the PTO off, or the Rotavator head off. Got the counterweight here, so we'll just take that off. And we're going to check the gear oil. So we've got a plug there for filling, and there's a one on the front just under there for draining. So we'll take them out. We'll have a look, see if see what the oil level's like. We'll drain the oil and replace it, and we'll just give it basically just a quick once over before we use it. Like I say, this engine runs fine. There's absolutely no issues with it. I'll start it up in a second and I'll show you, but this isn't one of my usual will it runs and we'll go through checking everything. It'll start first pull, but it's just a general once over, almost basically just a light service basically, and we'll have a little look at it. So I'll show you it running first of all. So up here we've got this fully forwarded stop, and I normally start it in the midway position between the tortoise and the hare. We come down here, we've got the choke, so we set the choke on. Might not need it, but we'll put it on, and we've got the fuel isolator on off. So we'll set the fuel all the way to on. There's a fuel tank there. I've checked the oil, I've got plenty of oil, and inside there's the fuel. Air filter on top, and the carburetor is built onto the tank. Now it's a little bit tricky to start one-handed. Throttle's half. I'll just try and hold onto it one-handed with the camera. We'll give it a pull. There we go. Starts it running. You can see the Rotavator head turning. Obviously to the gearbox, reduce speed, and then we can adjust the throttle. Bringing it right down to slow. Oh, that's full throttle there. And then to stop the engine, we just push the handle to stop. And that's it, stopped. Really simple. When we're finished, we'll just turn the fuel to the off position. So the first job we're going to do is we're just going to check this gearbox. There's the drain plug and the fillers on top. And as it's got a cutting head on, I know we've got it in the off position, it's a recoil starter, but I always like to disconnect the spark plug, or the HT lead to the spark plug, so we know it physically can't start turning. I know the fuel's turned off and the throttle handle's in the stop position, but it's always better be safe than sorry, because these are pretty sharp. So go ahead, I'll get a 10mm socket. I know it's a square head, but 10mm fit round, and we'll take the top one out first just to make sure that that's not seized, and then we'll take the bottom one out. The idea behind it is if we take the top one out first, at least I can always fill it. But if we take the bottom one out, we find that that's seized the top one, then it's going to be quite difficult to fill the case up. So I'll get my socket now. I've got the oil pan below there, and we'll drain out what's in. I'm not sure if there's anything in there or not, but we'll have a go at doing that. So here we are. I've just got the engine tilted back. There's the plug. I've got my 10mm here, and we'll just start unwinding this plug. Let's see, I'm not sure what's in here. I haven't got any specific gear oil, but the speed that it's turned now, I know there's a PTO and it's a reduction gear, but I think for what I've only got some engine oil, but any oil's better than no oil. I'm just going to put some standard engine oil in for now. I mean, for the work this is going to do, it's not like it's going to be run all day every day. It's a one-off sort of thing. So we'll just get that out. Can see in there, can just see some teeth. So we'll lower this down and just see if there's anything in there. Which there doesn't look like there is. I can't see anything in there either. I'll just get a little stick and I'll just dip it in and just see if there's anything on the stick. So I know sometimes on like differentials and all gearboxes and all that, that's at the fill level. I'm not too sure. I haven't got a user manual for this Obviously for the engine I have, but for this gearbox I'm not too sure what to do with it to fill it to the level where it starts to drain out of there. I think that's probably the best course of action. I don't want to overfill the gearbox and once it gets hot pressurize it and pop a seal, so I think we'll just fill it with engine oil until it starts coming out of that hole there. I think that would be better than safe than sorry. You know, there's, at least I know there's then oil in there. We haven't overfilled it, we can't over pressurize and blow a seal out or anything like that, so I'll just get it's only a small filler hole, so I think I'll use a little, I don't know if I've got a small funnel or something for that, but I'll have a look and see what I've got. So I've not got a funnel, but I've got a small turkey baster, which is going to be absolutely fine. I've just undone the top plug there. There's the top plug. Oh, you can see inside. Yeah, can't see anything. It does look like it's a little bit wet, so I don't think it's bone dry, so I'll just get the oil, put it in a little jug, and we'll fill it up. It's going to be a tiny little gearbox, so it'll not take much. That's all I have got some gearbox oil, so just see if this will work with the turkey baster. I'm not sure if it will. Yeah, it will. It might be a bit too thick, but and we'll just take it over here and we'll squeeze it in until it fills and comes out the bottom plug hole. I'm hoping there's no seals that have gone. Doesn't look like there is. There's a bit of debris around that, but we'll clean all that up. So here's another load going in. Taking more than I thought. I suppose the casing is quite big. Just suck another bit up. Ounce at a time. That's what it's measuring. And it's just started to come out of the lower bit, so we'll put one more in just to make sure. Yeah, it's definitely coming out the bottom there. So I'm happy that there's oil in there now. I'm hoping it's just like a paddle wheel inside, or the gears pick it up. I mean, this is proper gearbox oil. Obviously I don't think it had any oil to start with. I don't know the last time this was even checked or serviced, but some oil's better than no oil. And like I say, we don't want to overfill it by putting the bottom plug in and filling it right up. We don't achieve anything in doing that. In fact, we'll probably cause more damage, just as bad as having no oil really. So I'll put the plugs in and we'll have a look at the engine now. Right, so the gear oil's in, I've got the plugs back in. We're just going to pull off all of this material around this shaft. It looks to be just like roots and grass and things like that. So I don't want that digging into a seal or anything like that. Fairly wrapped around. It doesn't take much to get it off. And there it is, it's all coming off just nicely there. There's a bit left just in there, but obviously this machine's made for the job it's doing, so I'm sure the seals are substantial. So there we go, that's the front end done there. There is a little counterweight that goes on, but I've taken it off just for now. I suppose we can put it back on now we're finished. That just helps weight the front of the rotavator down. So we'll move back to the engine now. Right, so we're just going to come around and do the air filter now, just have a look at it. We've got two bolts, one there, one there. I've already undone them, use a screwdriver, and we can take off the top. So inside, you can see in the lid, we've got one of these pre-filters. It just stops the large debris from going through. Quite clean, so is that side. And then on the top here we've got another air filter. See, the side that's the engine side is just this side, but the intake side, sort of on the dirty air side as I call it, is the pleated side always, because it's got the greater surface area. Because you think if you opened out all those pleats, how large the theoretical air filter would then be as compared to just that side, which is just a flat surface. So that sits on there, so we can take it off. These are both disposable, we can replace them. And then we've got the top plate here, very clean, nothing leaking through. We've got the, I believe that's the throttle, yeah, so when I'm operating the throttle there you can see, sorry, the choke, see the choke moving there. So that's if the air filters, it's fine, let's see, I'm not even going to bother replacing it for the work it does, it's quite clean. So we can put it all back together now, so that goes on there, we just push that element in, and we can just put the top back on and secure it with the 2 screws. So just going to pull the spark plug out now with the spark plug tool. You know, the HT leads off. Only 2 hands, so that's pretty tight, but we'll take the spark plug out and we'll have a look at the condition of it. I'm hoping it's going to be good condition considering it's a 4-stroke engine. So yeah, I'll just get the spark plug out there, and that's looking to be in really good condition. So that's a Champion RJ19LM. I don't think we're going to get a replacement for that. It's looking alright condition. Next year I might get an air filter and a new spark plug, but at the moment looking really good. I'm just going to give it a compression test though, just to see what we're working with, and then we'll put it all back together. So really easy for this compression tester because it's right on the top of the engine there. I've bottomed the compression tester out. Obviously it's not going to start because the spark plug is removed and the compression tester's in. No choke, throttle set to full for maximum airflow. I'll give it a couple of pulls and we'll see what the reading is. So after a few pulls there, reading 90. It's not the best, not the worst, it's alright. I mean, I know it runs. So yeah, that's 90 psi on the compression tester. Let's say we'll take that out now, put the spark plug back in, and we'll just give it a little run for 5 minutes and then put it away. So for this test run, what I've done is I've put 2 fuel cans, lifted them up and put a plank of wood just to keep the chine, so the diggers off the front there, from touching the ground. We've got the weight on just to give it some support. So we come down here, put the spark plug HT lead back on. Don't need the choke, put the fuel to the on position, so that's to the far right, and the throttle goes from the stop about midway, and we'll give it a pull. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it one-handed, so I'll put the camera down now. There we go, choke's fully off. Put it down. Took some starting, not sure why. I've got it run there on full speed. I'll just leave it running for a little while, about 5 minutes, just to warm it through, see if I've got any problems, see if there's any leaks on the bearings, or the seals up front there where we change the oil. Very wide for the engine, but I'll kind of keep a good eye on it. I don't want it to fall off and damage anything, or get the tints damaged. There we go, it's been running for about 5 minutes now, and we'll just shut it off there. So push the throttle to the full stop position. That's the engine stop. There's no leaks or anything, and we'll set the engine to off on the fuel, so that leave it far left. And that's it. So that's the Briggs Stratton 3 horsepower IC engine powering a Rotavator head on a PTO shaft. Let's say this wasn't a will it run video, just a check one over. So if you've liked that video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.